Sounds good.
Cool. All right, so we are starting. This is episode 3 of At Home with the Warriors, and we're tuned in live here with Selena Dirven and Andrew Hopf, our strength and conditioning coach. So tell me about where you guys are. How's home life for you guys? How's home life with the 1-year-old?
Home life is busy, very busy, adapting to the new reality. But I very much a silver lining being able to spend a little bit more time at home and see every minute of growth and enjoyment from my son's face. So that's been amazing on the personal side. Has it been easy? No. I think for anybody that wants to get after it and be successful, it's always balancing, having an amazing home life and an amazing professional life too, as you can hear in the background. But yeah, we've adapted, both my wife and I, and not sleeping a ton with a TV 1-year-old, but yeah, in the morning when you wake up and see a smile, it's worth it all. But on the Warriors side, I couldn't be more proud of our group. I think that we're coming off exam period. We're coming off a time when this entire quarantine situation happened as our student athletes were ramping up for finals. And I can say that, reflecting back on what the last 6 weeks been, we had more buy-in, more engagement, and probably even a more impactful training period than maybe we have had in the last 3 to 4 years, because of how we've adapted and how our athletes have bought into embracing this situation as an opportunity. So it's been challenging, but rewarding and also inspiring at the same time.
Totally. And Durs, we were talking before we came on it. Got started recording here. You're at home with mom and dad, so how's that going?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's been quiet so far, just kind of finishing exams, taking some time just for me. But yeah, being home, seeing my sister and my mom every day, and then everyone kind of comes by just to wave, and so being home is nice. Haven't been home for a while. But yeah, just kind of taking time, getting prepared. I start my co-op term next Monday, so just kind of transitioning into getting prepared for that, and being able to work online is going to be something different than I've done before, so kind of adjusting to that. And then on the athlete side, they've definitely supported us a lot. Having the Zoom sessions has really allowed me to kind of feel like a community. I'm usually with more volleyball and basketball players, so being able to just get to know them as well. We usually train as a team, so I don't always train with them. So that's been nice that we still get that coaching through Zoom as well.
For sure. So talk a little bit about your setup. It's through Zoom. What are you guys doing? I know maybe, are you trying to stay away from equipment workouts, more body weight workout, or what's it looking like?
Yeah, you lagged out a bit there, Axel. So on Apple TV in the background, but I'll be honest. Like, after reflecting, and when we got direction from our senior leadership that this was happening back on March 16th, I put together a program that was designed around trying to not use any weight, but keep our work capacity high during that period, and kind of during that week of being able to really get things organized. I can with confidence say that across all sports, we've probably trained in a way that is as good or even more effective than we have done in the past. We're using various aspects of overcoming isometrics with towels, where we're using innovative ways to load certain patterns to get the desired adaptations we want. And then we're also making individualized decisions with specific sports to make sure they're adapting the way that we want them to this specific mesocycle. So I although we don't have a barbell and hundreds and thousands of pounds of weight, I think our athletes have adapted well. The only thing that I miss out a little bit is the kind of the data geek in me, and making sure that the adaptations we are getting are resulting in quantifiable undeniable results, but that will come. So it's not just body weight, although it is body weight. We're using body weight and other kind of external sources to create stress in a way that allows us to grow. So, and Derby can probably speak to it. It hasn't been easy. These are not aerobics classes that we are, just going to a beat of the music. We are doing everything that we should be in terms of sets and reps and intensity, and doing it under supervision. So I'll let Derby kind of elaborate from her perspective how the programming has been going. But from a pure coaching perspective, I've been thrilled, and I really don't know how many other schools out there are doing as many Zoom calls and meetings and coaching sessions as we are right now. So Derby, I'll let you expand on it.
Yeah, no, for sure. At home, I have a few weights, but not very much. So changing from, doing back squats, those type of things every day is definitely a different off season that I've seen. Yeah. But no, for sure, the overcoming ISOs are hard. It's 5 seconds, but you go your most power as much as you can do, and you definitely are tired after it. So I have been still feeling the adaptations and knowing that I've been going at a good intensity. And then, same thing. There's those where we still get to go outside, do some things like we have our steady state aerobic stuff where I can still go rollerblading. So that again is specific to my sport. So it's kind of nice having that opportunity as well, being able to go outside. But pretty much it seems like an off season, just with not the weight we use, but using body weight and doing a lot of isometric stuff does give a good result as well, I find.
Are you guys tracking attendance? Is it mandatory for every single student athlete, or is there a schedule they're on so you don't have your full screen of Zoom about 50 different athletes? How are you guys managing that?
That's probably the biggest challenge, and a piece of trying to give athletes some autonomy to get the work done, but there is another piece of accountability. So all of our varsity athletes that I oversee on a regular basis, and on a day-to-day basis, I should say, which would include our basketball, volleyball, hockey, soccer programs, they are required to report in on their lift compliance, if you will. It's a little bit, they don't have to record any loads or anything like that right now. But then every sport has a specific key performance indicator that they have to report in on as well on a weekly basis that is either time or distance based. So that's kind of how we're managing the overall implementation of the program. So for example, women's hockey, they have to report in on now an 800 meter run time, and also a broad jump. That will change as we kind of start to hit more challenging kind of benchmarks, if you will, that I expect of our athletes. Other sports will, soccer, for example, is reporting in on a 2.1K run time. That's a really good measure of aerobic power. So with the hope that they could very well be playing as of June 1st with their club teams, or sorry, July 1st with their club teams. So I'm trying to be cognizant of that as well. So that's kind of how we're managing it on a kind of a macro level to make sure that the work is getting done. And then if compliance isn't there and they're not reporting in or having challenges with getting a Y in their Google Doc for yes, I completed it, then the sport coaches will then kind of take it another step further in terms of having conversations on implementation and getting the work done to be part of their programs. Cool. So I don't control ice time. So that'll be up to the coaches to decide what happens when people don't get their job done. But I think that the culture and mindset that we've instilled as a group, not me or not the sport coaches, but I think it's embraced with our entire student athlete body, is that we're here to A, become the best version of ourselves, and B, win. Yeah. So that's kind of felt across the board, and that's really what I'm seeing right now. Then kind of taking a step back on the the micro level when it comes down to executing if we have 5 different sports on, one call, for example, and we have 30 student athletes there, 5 different sports, that is where it becomes challenging for sure. I've been doing this for better part of 15 years, and it's challenging for me to navigate it all. But I think what we do is try to empower our athletes to have a deeper understanding of what is actually happening and required of them. And then they do it, and we watch and cue and adjust as we go. So again, there's only so many things we can do to really improve force development with our athletes in terms of not having equipment. So we've kind of kept the meat and potatoes, if you will, consistent across sports. And then we've started to create, again, individual sport adjustments based on how they need to accelerate or develop power based on what sport they're in. And that's where we'll say, hey, hockey, yes, we're going to do an overcoming squat isometric, and then you're going to do a half knee lateral bound. Or volleyball might be, okay, volleyball, we're doing an overcoming squat isometric, and then you're going to do a counter movement jump or a reactive counter movement jump or something like that that's more relevant to their sport. So that's kind of how we've been adapting to this situation. And then it's up to the kids to bring it.
Yeah.
I say kids, the student athletes, sorry, like they can program all this stuff in, but if they're not bringing it, then it's not going to be effective.
Yeah. So like Selena, for you being a student athlete, how's the motivation levels been doing it this way versus in person when, you're all beside each other, pushing each other? It's a little bit different staring into a computer screen. What's the motivation levels been like for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first couple weeks, still with being in school, it was quite hard to just set aside that time in the day to go do the workout. But I've kind of started now to set a routine where it's at 8 a.m. That I'm doing a workout. So that's helped me to just motivate me to get up and then just get active. And I always feel better throughout the day if I've done it earlier. But yeah, no, for sure. I kind of do the Zoom calls also to just have other people kind of push you. I know it's different when you're online, but seeing them doing it and hearing the coaches even encouraging us to get through a certain set when they see us maybe tiring out has helped me to kind of continue going. That's a big thing. But yeah, it's hard some days where, you want to do something else. You kind of are like, I could do this later, but just kind of having that accountability that if I do the workout, I'll feel better about myself. And I'm being accountable to my team and doing the best I can in this time to hopefully help us for next season.
Totally. Nice. And kind of just the last question, do you have a Warrior workout challenge coming up here, Hopf? I think I saw in the last newsletter.
Yeah, we're going to kind of put something across to all of our athletes. I haven't decided what exactly it will be, but it'll be a kind of a challenge across every single varsity athlete we have. So it'll most likely change monthly. My first one will probably be just collectively, you got to get 25 push-ups done every day. So if every single person did that over the course of 5 days, then they're going to get 125 push-ups in a week. And if we times that by 600 athletes that we have, I'm not a math major, so we're probably going to be in the range of, 64,000 push-ups in a week. So that's pretty cool. If we start to extrapolate that out and we're doing 250,000 push-ups in a month, that's a pretty big number. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it'll be something that's pretty simple to get done, but as a group, if we can, be able to broadcast this, that over the off season we did 1 million push-ups, and we did I think it's just kind of a bit of a cool thing that isn't going to negatively impact anyone's training experience or put anybody at any undue risk, and kind of keep us all heading in the right direction as a collective Warrior program. For sure.
And sorry, one more, just what's the morale of the student athletes? Because obviously there's still some question marks going into next season, what the schedule is going to look like, or even if we're going to have, especially in the fall, we're going to have a fall season. Are they just training as if they're going ahead in September and that's the end of the story, or what are they thinking?
Yeah, that's my mindset. is I'm treating this like every other off season, that we're prepared to attack come September 1. So I think that, you know, at least my messaging to everybody has been, you know, trust and embrace and question the process. So regardless of the situation that we're in, we're looking to make decisions every day that allow us to be the best version of ourselves for tomorrow. So whether that's the off season or in season, or, you know, that's the mindset that we're trying to buy into here. So whatever it's going to be, if we come September and we're playing, great, we're ready to go. If it comes September and we're training, and I just don't mean training in the sense of squatting and running and doing things to improve our capacity, but now that might mean we're just becoming better players for 4 months, and we come back in January. So we're going to be prepared for every situation. If we do have to come back and we're just truly training for 4 months to get ready for the winter season, then great. Then we're going to embrace that, and we're going to, you know, obviously this is going on YouTube, so I'll check my language. We'll be ready to go.
Sounds good. Well, thanks guys for this. Some good perspective on what the student athletes are doing, and obviously a brand new world for us, and appreciate what you guys are doing for our athletes and getting them ready to go for September.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you.
Dan.